I cut myself for the first time. Not a lot, not deep. The knife wasn't sharp. It was some cheap one I got from a random store for like $30. It's got a dragon on it. It's supposed to be super edgy and cool. But the sword had no real edge. I cut myself, but I merely left scratches. I was trying to bleed. I wanted to bleed. I wanted to see the blood seep, to stain my shirt, to stain my finger as I wrote warnings on paper, to remind myself that I could hurt. As to hurt is to feel, and to feel is to be human. And although I saw specks of red, no blood flowed, it deprived me of that catharsis. I do not have proof of humanity. And as I look upon my failed attempts, I begin to cry. And as the sorrow drains from my face, I realize that I am feeling. I realize that there's still humanity yet. But in my lonesome, I don't know the best way to let it out. This is my attempt at doing so, at doing it the right way. This is my attempt at an explanation why, an explanation my heart deserves to be told by my mind. Everything's okay. I'm floating in a pool and feel a raindrop hit my skin, and suddenly the rain is relentless, and there's easy ways to get out, and there's refuge within reach, and I want to reach shelter, for warmth, for control. It makes sense to seek it, but I keep floating. It's not the pool's fault. I'm walking down the street and come across a bakery, and on display is a cake of my favorite flavor. And the cake is beautiful. It looks delicious. And the price isn't too bad either. And I think about buying it. I want it. I can have it. It makes sense to have it. But I keep walking. It's too good to be true. I'm reading a contract that was offered for my soul, and I sign it without hesitation. And I know that I don't want to, and I think that I don't need to, and I see everything that comes from this, the pain, the horror. It makes sense to stop it, but I am obliged to sign it. It's the right thing to do. I'm driving away and I see I left you home, and I reach back to try and grab you, and I know that reaching hurts me, and I know that time is fleeting, and I see you drift farther away, each second, each moment. It makes sense to stop it, but I try to hold on, even though I choose to keep driving. The pain isn't unbearable. The horrors aren't terrible. The negatives are negligible. Nothing's great, but nothing's that bad either. Everything's okay, and so I don't complain. I feel angrier without you. I wake up blank. I am nothing. I feel like nothing. Nothing's motivating me to move, forcing me to change, yet nothing is enough to get out of bed. The bed is nice. The bed is comfy. The bed is safe. The bed is my bubble, and I wish for it not to burst. But then I'm the one to pop it. I get up and continue on. The day goes by in stride. A slow stride, but a stride nonetheless. It fizzles into the air, the sands of time whisked away by twisters, and the day is done. Oh, the relief. I set aside life for the evening. I seal myself in the bubble. I get back in bed. It's warm and suffocating, and I invite it with open arms. I let dreams overtake me. I see a dragon in the distance and decide to chase it. I chase it for hours upon hours. I chase it southbound to warmer welcomes. And in dreams, it seems within reach. I catch the dragon and indulge in its luxuries. I overdose on dopamine. It brings me to the ground safely. I feel the ground beneath my feet. I kneel down and kiss it. And the kiss brings life around me. Ash turns to grass. Seeds blossom into a heavenly colorscape. I turn the world to paradise. I make wasteland a home. But the dragon's smoke and mirrors. But I'm still hooked on fantasy. It all disappears as the bells toll. The dragon leaves again, and I tell it, I feel angrier without you. Natural. When life doesn't hit you, it's up to you to hurt yourself. It's not supposed to be easy. It's not supposed to just go by. Each moment needs to matter, needs to be important. And disaster will make it so, for disaster is natural. The volcano is sad, and so it weeps. But by doing so, it is painted as evil. It is told to be destructive, but all it did was react. It was told to be itself, but is feared for it. The earth is scared, and so it quakes. But by doing so, it is painted as terrible. Yet its quakes are natural. It is forced to move. It can't help its shaking, but is feared for it. No one cares for thunderstorms when hurricanes rage nearby. No one cares for scratches when someone's lost an eye. No one cares for threats when a murder's taken place. No one cares for nature when the disaster is natural. So if Mother Nature stays silent, why should I complain? If you've made it this far, I want to thank you. This part isn't pre-planned or pre-written out. This is me speaking from the heart. Thank you. Life is hard. If it isn't hard for you, you usually tend to make it so. If you don't think it's hard, maybe you just don't realize it. But we're all going through something terrible in its own unique way. And I don't think it's right to compare your terrible to someone else's. It's what I used to do. I would see the people around me and think of how much better I had it, and because of it viewed any struggle I had internal or external as less important. But I think we're all important in our own way, in our own special, unique way, because we're all different. And we all go through different struggles differently. And that end result is you. And it's perfect because it's you, not because it's trying to be anyone else. I still struggle with this. I think disaster is natural. I'm learning how to better process it. Sometimes it goes well. Sometimes I cut myself, but merely leave scratches. But I don't need to puncture to realize I am feeling. For the fact that I feel makes me realize there's still humanity yet. Thank you for listening.